got the live stream going. To my special niece on her 10th birthday.
And this is a little guy from the game that we play together sometimes.
Oh.
And then this is a
Oh.
lot of words, but I'll read it to you.
Oh my
It
God, you did
says,
like calligraphy?
well, no, I printed this.
Oh, you did.
But
Okay.
but I did put a lot of thought into the design.
Mhm.
So it says, you are an incredible person that I'm so happy to know. You are kind, creative, smart, honest, sensitive, and loving. You may doubt yourself sometimes, but I know that you're strong and uniquely you. Even though we don't always get to talk and play together, I'm often thinking about you and sending you my love. The world is brighter with you in it, and I will always support you in whatever path you take. And I hope you make the most of today and enjoy yourself. Happy birthday to my favorite June bug. And then there's an actual June bug on the back.
Oh my God. Imagine you're getting that as a 10-year-old from like your favorite person.
See, I actually went through a lot of trouble to find a good card online, and then it didn't come and the order got canceled. And so I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Like, and so I went on to Canva and I started to make my own design inspired by the card. And then as I was going through all the trouble to do that, I'm like, why don't I just scrap all of that and just write what I want? Like I
Do
basically
my
did
own card. Like,
I did
yeah.
the card version of like standing on stage and then crumpling up your notes and tossing it behind your shoulder.
Yeah.
So basically I
Well,
did
it's like
that.
maybe you needed the muscle to build the muscle. I've definitely done that. And I do it with curtains. I'm like, it's just fucking fabric sewn
Mhm.
together. I know how to do that. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'll spend like a long time researching and then I'm like at the store and I'm like, oh, this is literally fabric. I could just get yards of it and do my own. Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing is, in printing it, I messed up the direction of the print. So when I printed it, originally it was upside down on one side. Um, and so
Mm.
I tried again and I made the same mistake. So I'm like, well, now I have used a lot of color because I used the high quality print color. And I have printed two faulty cards. So then I just decided this morning, I had the idea when I woke up because I was about to send it just all wonky and be like, I'm so sorry. But but then I thought of it when I was waking up this morning. I'm like, what if I affix them together and the correct directions? And so
Mm.
that's what I did. So this is actually two cards glued together and then taped around the edges. And as expected, I could not get the tape without any hair. So there's hair. Um, we're trashy here, so anything coming from this household has got to have hair. It's got to have little smudges. It's
Oh,
fine.
it's really funny. You're
But
the
it's the
dirty
thought
hair
that
house.
counts. And I'm really
Oh,
excited of how it turned out.
me too. Um, I was inspired by Trisha, my new friend I'm talking about all the time,
Hmm.
because she sent me something, a bunch of things. Let me find one of them right now. Um, because she's an angel sent from heaven for all of us. And she like made her own card. She drew on it. She did put her own art in it, wrote the letter, and then like included these things that she used to make or maybe still makes. It's like a little card that you can
Oh.
like just take with you. And she like has these sleeves. I have one in my wallet now, and like every time I open my wallet, I get to see it.
Hmm.
This one says the tale of a friend, and it's made of book words.
Hmm.
And on the back, the side, it says,
Oh.
I knew him in that little village, flowers underfoot. I loved him with a small spirit. It's a cute
Hmm.
little poem made out of the book.
That is precious.
Anyway, it really inspired me, and because I send a letter, I send a card to my aunt. We're like pen pals. I have an aunt
Hmm.
in Ohio, and I like to get her local ones made by local artists here. Like there's always artists making cards and selling them at every little tiny store.
Hmm.
So I usually do that. Um, but recently I'm like, well, I was writing Trisha I was making Trisha a card, and I was like, oh yeah, I know how to do this.
Hmm.
I know how to draw. I think that like the construct of buying the things that people buy can be hard to get out of.
Hmm.
It's just like gardening, right? Like people don't know that there's people on the planet, a lot of them that don't know that like fruits and vegetables come from a garden. They think it just comes from a store and it's made there.
Hmm.
And that is not a testament to calling people stupid. It's a testament to a failure in our education system when we're born here. We're not really taught about it properly everywhere. Anyway, yeah, you can grow a garden in your own fruit, and they come out different colors and different sizes. You can choose different seeds. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, we've got some rainbow carrots growing. We
Hmm.
probably overseeded them, so they're all crowded, but I'm hoping that some of them will survive and I can have some colorful carrots.
I think that when they're overcrowded, they're fine. You just pull them out and they're just like misshapen. They're not long tubes.
I'm
I would
fine with
argue they're
that.
funner to eat.
Yeah, no, I'm totally fine with stuff being in a different shape. Well,
Um,
um, let me pull up my stuff here.
you said that we don't have a bye week until when now? I fucked up my calendar, so
Um,
you know how that is.
yes, I do. I think I said July 12th, but let me find my phone. Where is my phone? Oh, it's under my butt. Okay. Um, yeah, so the first bye week I have is July 12th. Excuse me. Move, please. Move, move, move. I'm gonna run you over. Don't want to do that. Yeah, thank you. Afraid your foot was gonna get smashed.
For some reason, don't have it on the 28th or the next one, but that's okay. I'm gonna fix that. I'm just gonna do this little housekeeping right quick.
Hmm.
Shave, and then the 5th. Okay. How was your week?
Um, it was long, honestly. Um, it was kind of rough, just like emotionally regulatory wise. I I'm not sure, but I think maybe it was my time of the month because there was a lot of like pains that coincided. And there was one night that I was like leveled out with cramping. And I struggled a lot with like motivation and all kinds of just mental stuff. But when I put the pieces together and realized that it might be that time, which it's hard for me to know because I don't bleed. So it's not as obvious,
Mm.
but
Oh,
I'll
right.
still get the other symptoms. But
Mm.
when I realized that, oh, this aligns, this aligns, this aligns, it may very well be this. That kind of helped me a little bit feel less helpless because I was really starting to feel like objectively on paper these things should normally be impacting me in this way and not this way. And I'm like, this does not make sense with like what I logically would expect, both from myself and from the situation and everything. And I was very confused, and that confusion made me feel helpless and really like concerned for the future. I was like, what if I'm losing it? What if I can't like make sense of this or that or the other anymore?
Like, what if this
And
is just it? This is my new life forever.
exactly, exactly. And it was when I
And that's
realized
hard to
that
think about at 30.
it is. It really is.
You're like, what? No.
Yeah,
No, it can't be that.
it can't be that. And I started rethinking every element of my life, and it is just a weird place to be and not great. But yesterday was a bit of a turning point. Is Friday, I actually didn't have to work, and I thought that Friday was going to be my day. I thought I was going to like get reading done, get housework done, meal prep, and all this other stuff. And then I wound up not doing those things. And I wound up like really down and fatigued and everything. But then yesterday, uh, my person was here and we just started doing stuff around the house and worked together and separately. And I got a surprising amount done, and that kind of helped a lot. Um, and also considering the fact that my body was having a reaction to something that was kind of out of my control, that kind of also gave me something to hold on to. Like what I'm feeling right now is not permanent. Um, and all I can do is bring myself to the best of my ability to go through the motions until I'm back on track. And I definitely feel better today than I did even on Friday. So, since we did so much yesterday, I'm hoping to keep the momentum going today. And the more that we get done before the week starts, I think the better off my headspace is going to be. Um,
And
and
then
we'll
what if you
see.
don't get it done?
Well, if I don't get it done, I'll try to focus on what I did get done, but I can still hope that we get something done.
And
I'm not going
like,
to give myself like a ridiculous list because I've already gotten quite a bit done.
and you um have managed in worse conditions, you know?
Hmm.
This is still, if I may, having your shit together, your awareness of I've had a very similar set of feelings. Um, because life is happening and I'm like
Hmm.
letting it instead of having some sort of alternative goals. I'm like focusing on so many things out of fear that like I realize that I can just radically accept everything and
Hmm.
do all the things that I want to do. And
Hmm.
that's really helped me. But time has definitely seemed much longer and I've seemed to not be able to like get things done. But I've settled some things that are going to make my life a lot easier with
Hmm.
work. And one of my unmasked groups started, so that's given me a lot of structure. Um, and just I'm going on a 3 week sabbatical on Wednesday.
Mm.
So I feel like that is really going to help me. I haven't been out of the city in a long time, and that's going to help me. Um, just like, wrap everything in a nice little bow and be like, this is what we're doing.
Hmm.
I don't want to crazily build anything. I don't want to like start a ton of new things or any new relationships. I just want to like see what is going on right now with this and not look into the future
Hmm.
farther than lunch,
Yeah,
because I don't fucking need to think about the shit that I need to do that I made up for myself.
right.
I do those things because I know that I like it to be, um, I know I like how my environment can be, but also I know that that's temporary if it is out of hand.
Hmm.
And if it gets out of hand, then that just is a note to me that I need to spend more time here.
Hmm. Yeah, it's easy for some of that stuff. Nice coffee
Savior has
delivery.
come.
Yes, we love a barista delivered.
We do. She went
Um,
Hamlet. Thank you.
I'm gonna check something before I forget.
What a treat.
I know, dude. I'm very
What a
jealous.
treat, man. She does it all the time.
So sweet.
I know.
That reminds me of when we used to work at the same place. My partner and I, we used to work in a call center together, and we had like the company kitchen, as they called it, which is like a little convenience store self-checkout thing. And they would go in and grab Kickstart, one of the flavors of Kickstart that I liked, and just I'd be on like a stressful call. My body language would be like this, and then all of a sudden there'd be a Kickstart on my desk, and then a little scratch on my shoulder, and then poof, gone. And then I'd be like, all right, when I get off this call, I can crack open the can and it's just really nice. And sometimes they would pass by and draw a little dick on my doodle board if I was in the bathroom. And then I would come back and know that they were there. So yeah,
I
it's
love
always
that.
wonderful when you have those little moments. I
Yeah,
love the fact that you guys have just the little random acts of kindness and just love language. I love that for you guys so much.
it's really beautiful and delicious.
And delicious. It looks so good.
Yeah, it is.
Like an icy
Um,
milky coffee.
yeah,
Shut
it's
up.
a nice oat milk cappuccino.
Oat milk, man. Oh, that fancy
I
stuff.
know.
I'm
It's
sitting
too
here
good.
with my 2% or 1% home brewed coffee
Drip.
and it's just coffee.
Hmm.
It's not it's at least it's not like Maxwell instant. It is like ground coffee, like a Columbia or something. I don't know.
Mm.
But it's
That's
the
good.
last of it. Yeah, this is our last of our fancy bag. We have to get more at Walmart. So it's probably going to be a
Mm.
$10 bag, but still
Oh my
not
God, I
Maxwell.
should send you coffee. I forgot we have coffee here.
You have coffee to send me?
Yes, we have coffee everywhere.
Is
I
it
mean,
ground coffee?
well, I can get it ground. What do you do? Just a drip?
Mm-hmm. You know, like one of those Mr. Coffees, but it's not Mr. Coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that would be so cool,
Yeah,
dude.
I'll find something good. I love buying coffee. Right now I'm part of a coffee club where I get one sent to me every month. I usually get
Ah.
decaf and then an espresso roast, and I get them ground for pour over, and then I mix them together. And I add cinnamon. Maybe I'll wait till my next delivery comes in and give you that. See how you like it. What kind of coffee do you like? Do you like I don't really it's I feel like coffee for me is like weed. I'm like, don't ask me if I like a hybrid or an indica or a sativa or what brand I like. I will
Mm-hmm.
just like absorb what I'm taking in and enjoy it. That's what I'll do.
Pretty much, pretty much. It's hard. I'm as long as it's like good quality coffee, it's hard for me to dislike it. I dislike
Yeah.
IHOP coffee,
Mhm.
hospital coffee, and like I hate cheap coffee now that I've had good stuff, but I'm not as like in a pinch I'll even take a gas station coffee because at least you can put stuff in that.
Yeah.
Um, and sometimes they're not that bad. Like
And
some gas
sometimes like
stations.
McDonald's coffee is really fucking good.
Yeah, you buy that shit in the store if you want.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
McDonald's
I'm
makes
really
good
not
coffee.
that picky, but we used to get like we used to have our own coffee subscriptions, and then when we didn't, we would buy on a regular basis. We'd pick out a blend from a couple of our favorite small roasters. There's one in KC called the Roastery, and they're themed after aviation, which my partner is a huge aviation nerd. So obviously we enjoy that, and we also like visiting to see the plane whenever we go to KC. And then Bones Coffee, we've gotten from them a few times, just different flavors. Um, but don't look them up unless you're in incognito mode because their marketing is insane and
Intense.
you will never stop getting the commercials if you look it up outside of incognito mode.
Mhm.
They're
Good hot tip.
fun. They're not like as annoying, but once you've seen it like 40 million times,
Yeah.
I'm over it. But yeah, I we like their coffee. We like aviation or the roastery coffee. Um, but really I like to try new stuff all the time.
Maybe I'll get one the grocery store that we like to go to has one of those things where they have all the buckets of coffee that you can scoop in the bag yourself and then grind there.
Mm,
Maybe I'll do something like that. And I was thinking, I'm like, I do care about like if it's indica or sativa, but like only broadly. Like I know that I like dark roast, but I know that I really like light roast too,
hmm.
depending if it's like flavorful.
Yeah,
So it does
exactly.
depend on the bean. So maybe
Yeah.
this will help you guide your coffee? When I was like really getting into coffee, I started with a French press.
We had a French press for a while. We would use it to make Vietnamese coffee. We had the chicory blend, the Café de Monde chicory blend, since that's closest to what they have usually used for Vietnamese coffee. And then we would use the French press overnight, and then we would have the French press the next day with condensed sweetened milk, and we'd mix it in a
Mhm.
pitcher. And then we would have Vietnamese coffee, but we would have to strain it like multiple times with a coffee filter, even though that's not really part of the process. Just because if we
Yeah.
didn't, we would end up with sludge at the bottom and
Hmm.
lots of grounds and stuff. And so it took a lot of effort. And we were just thinking about that the other day. We're like, man, remember when we always kept Vietnamese coffee in the fridge? And they were like, yeah, never mind. I don't want to go through all that again. But it was a cool little era.
Yeah.
We'll just
Yeah.
stick to overpaying for a cup once in a blue moon. We go to a Vietnamese restaurant.
Mhm.
And same thing with was the other thing, a mocha pot. We used to have a mocha pot before the fire. And it's a thing that I was another thing that I'm glad that I had it. It was a fun experience to try to make these espresso drinks with it using like Cafe Bustelo and stuff like that. And we had a little setup where I'd add syrups and just try to pretend like I was a little barista. Um, and
I love
sometimes we'd
that, man.
even, we got little tiny mason jars. And we would do like little bits of the mocha pot espresso and just a little bit of like peanut butter flavored marshmallow and then drizzle on top and just make it look super fancy.
Mhm.
But oh my gosh, Michelle, the sludge with the mocha pot is so bad. And it's a pain in the butt to clean out, let alone keep it from your coffee. And it's just not worth it. But I'm glad that I had that little moment. But I don't think
You have a
I
lot
don't
of
think I need
sludge
it.
memories.
A lot of sludge memories. Same thing. We went
Um,
to this Middle East place. It's a Middle Eastern place that's relatively new, and we got a Turkish coffee, and it smelled so good. But we made the mistake of when we got lower to the bottom of it, we combined the two cups into one, and so it was like 80% sludge and 80% strong Turkish coffee sludge. Nothing like we've had before, and we were like, we have made the biggest mistake. Never do this again. Sorry, you were going to say something.
that's really funny. Yeah, I've had a couple. Well, then I went to pour over, but before all of that, I forgot I was getting um cold brew, concentrated cold brew from the store, like a
Hmm.
jug of it, and then I would make a banana coffee with that. I had a banana
Ooh.
coffee phase where I would add the cold brew, ice, half a banana and chia seeds. And then I would mix it in the magic blender, and that was like my morning commute coffee.
Dude, that sounds so
It's
good.
so good. If you have a magic bullet or something, do put a half a banana in there. You don't really need to sweeten your coffee, especially if the banana's pretty ripe.
Yeah, I don't really
Um,
anyway. I just use
it
milk.
still keeps it liquid too. It doesn't turn into a smoothie. It does if you put more banana in it and other stuff, but I also would add soy milk.
I don't have a magic bullet. I do have a regular schmegular blender though.
Mm, that
So
works.
maybe I could try that. And I always keep Trilogy Mix, which is I don't know if you know about the Trilogy Mix, but it's got hemp seed, chia seed, and flax seed all
Oh
mixed
yes.
together in one container.
Yep.
I always keep that on hand. Since we started like watching Your Morning Guru actually and we were doing some guru's morning routine and it involved making this smoothie that has like one of those seeds in it. And when I went to the
This must have
store
been
to
before me. I don't remember a smoothie period.
I
This
remember
reminds me because Dave Hollis just came up. Laura has a Dave Hollis children's book, the children's book.
did she pay money for it?
No, I think it was a little library thing.
Oh, thank
And
gosh.
she was like, I was like, Dave Hollis book? She was like,
Oh
who's Dave
yeah.
Hollis? And I was like, oh my God. And I opened it
Oh.
and I was like I was conjuring up all these Your Morning Guru thoughts. And I was
Hmm.
like, you just have
I
no
remember when that
idea.
thing came out, and I think Savvy
Yeah.
actually covered it because he had this awkward video where he was trying to read the book, and his kid wanted pancakes, and he's like,
Yes.
"Not right now."
It sparked a whole other thing that he
Oh,
was shitty
Pancake
about.
Gate. Oh, I love that so much. Man, that's good times.
That's when I came on the scene was during the Dave. He was doing
Yeah.
deep dive, deep Daves, something
Deep
like that.
Daves. Yeah, that's so great. No, it was I don't remember which one it was. And I also at one point I went back in time and went through older weeks to like in between stuff I would like when there was a week where we weren't following a strict like routine,
Mhm.
I would go back and do an older week to follow so that I still had something to try out because I really needed structure. This was like we were in between housing after the fire. And so that might have been like an older week from before you were
That's so
joining,
smart that you did that.
but I needed something, man. I mean,
Yeah.
you met me in this period of my life that
Yeah.
I needed something to cling on to.
Yeah. And it took me a
And
while to put the pieces together. I was just thinking about this the other day, how when because your mom was with you too.
yeah, and there was tension because no one should live with their in-laws, especially when their in-laws are such strong personalities and there's a lot of dependency.
Hmm.
Yeah, so Uh, it was
Girl,
a
man, we
really
got you right out of
rough
that.
time. Yeah, yeah, man. You experienced me during a lot of that.
Yeah.
And I don't even think we discussed everything that was happening during that time period, but things are much calmer now, which is
No, but
another
this
reason.
validates me a little bit because this morning I was thinking about our relationship and I was like, well, first we started a business together and then I forced her to um I just like forced you into a lot of things that ended up being very healing. Like I forced you to do the first unmask year,
Hmm.
and you did it for a year. And there was
Yep.
something else that came to mind too, and I was like, well, I think that I like to check in on myself to make sure I'm not like literally being manipulative to get what I want. And I'm like, well, what do I want?
Hmm.
And I'm like, well, I want anyone around me to be happy. So it helps
And
me like check in on my own, you know,
And in a
uh,
way, like even without any romantic tension, we've kind of had the kind of long-term relationship where you have ups and downs. Like we've been in fights. I mean, nothing like the nonsense that I hear you in with some toxic people, luckily. I'd like to think that I haven't been in that realm with you, but we've had like misunderstandings that escalate, and
mhm,
we've cried in meetings before. And we've like each had a moment where like I need to step away. I can't talk about this. And then we had touch
mhm.
points that we couldn't really discuss very well because it would bring stuff up. And
And we didn't have a lot of
um,
language at the time. We were literally
mm,
learning like real time how to be in a relationship.
yeah, because you were also coming out of a toxic relationship too.
Yeah. Yep.
And I remember being so frustrated at the beginning of our friendship because it's like, oh, I'm back with her. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no,
I know.
stop.
I
And I
know.
can't like force you to be with someone or not be with someone. And also, I'm not up there. So technically, there could be more to the story. But I felt so helpless. Like my friend is suffering and I can't do anything about it, but I can't force her because, you know,
I
whatever. But
think you were
anyway.
really supportive. I think you were really supportive and that I like it was important to me that you had let me know that it was a no for you.
Hmm. It's
That was
awesome that,
helpful in reflecting each time that I would go back. I'm like, well, and then it just wasn't, how it goes. It just wasn't up to anything when you're in that
right,
so cold.
right. It's so difficult.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. And you don't usually see, like, even when you're in the moment and you're like, this is not healthy, you don't realize just how much of a toll it was taking on you until you get out of it and look back.
Yeah.
Like, I feel that
And
way
it
when
was
I
long
think
distance.
back.
So I would be able to put space and time between us, and then that healed everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So I think I learned that with doing U-hauling with Laura. I'm like, well, I couldn't leave you. And I
yeah.
typically would do that just because I don't know. I also just like to be very trusting. So when I can put some space between it and just process the information and the events, I can come back and be like, what are we like now today? Because I do
Mm-hmm.
know people grow and learn, and that's what I thought she was doing, and she wasn't doing that.
Right,
And if she was, it was on a different plane than me,
right. Not up to
like,
your speed.
yeah, yeah,
Like maybe in 10 years, she'll be a totally different person, and that will be great for whoever she's with, but you don't need to do
yeah.
that work. That can be she can do that across many people and go on her own journey that does not involve taking you down with her.
I think I also wanted to be an example of anything. She'd only been in abusive relationships, you
Mm,
know?
hmm.
And so I think there was part of me that was like, well, if I do, and also I was living alone at home for years, and like they're just things where I'm like, well, would I rather sit here alone again for another week or,
Hmm.
see if she's okay? Um, but to be an example of like how a relationship could also end and not be the way it ends with her always,
Right.
you know?
Like it doesn't have to be some big saga.
Right. And at the
Like,
time I was facilitating LSN and there was at any
oof.
moment she could come in, right? Remember that?
Yeah, I forgot that she was in that too.
And she would, and it would trigger me. We were in the group then, I think, right? I
I
don't
wasn't
remember
in the
when I
group
started the
yet,
group. Well, so
but I do
and
remember you getting triggered and you would talk to me about it. You're like, she was in LSN today
yeah,
and she was pushing all my buttons.
yeah.
Um,
And then I
yeah,
started a process where I would just get up and like take a lap until I could hear that she was almost done talking, but I couldn't hear what she's saying. Then I would come back and that really helped. And then there was a moment where she came in and I was unaffected. I was totally unaffected. And I was like, okay, I'm ready now.
yeah.
And so I just reached out for you because I also don't I want to not be a resource for someone in recovery. So I think it's important to me that although is absolutely a no, I want her to have a different experience,
Hmm.
to the ending of a relationship.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you could provide that to her. Even if she couldn't see it in the moment, I feel like if she does
Yeah.
go on that personal growth journey, she'll look back in time and she'll be like, man, that could have gone way worse. And
Or
now
like,
I
I
know that I
understand
can
this
do
now.
that.
I understand why she did
Yeah,
this now.
that's why you did this. Exactly. Like,
Yeah.
I've been with my person for a long time, so most of my relationships were in high school, but they meant so much more back then in the moment. And when I think back to it, I'm like, we were kids and I can kind of see why this went out the way it did. And I try to return that to myself. Like I would beat myself up about doing this thing in this way. And I'm like, if I just reflected and thought about how this other person was a kid and did a kid thing and it's fine, it's whatever, I can't really blame them for that anymore like I used to in the past. I think I can give myself that same grace because that person, if they were thinking back on it, if I have the respect to believe that they've matured over the years, then they probably can carry the same respect and be like, that was so long ago and we were kids and we do dumb stuff
Yeah.
when we're kids.
Yep.
So, yeah,
I
and I
thought,
also, it just doesn't affect us anymore. Once you
yeah,
get to a certain
it doesn't
spot, you're
have
like,
to. Yeah.
right,
Some people do let it affect them forever.
that's true. My mother is good at holding on to stuff like that.
Yeah.
My family in general will hold on to stuff, and I'm like, I don't even remember what you're talking about. And
Yeah.
I was supposedly there. What is this? This is already gone from my
Yep.
memory. It wasn't worth holding
Yep.
on to.
And I do think that I did think that everyone thought that way. Like, oh, there's time has passed. So I know I've grown. I'm sure you've done your version of that. We're probably somewhere in the same realm. And
Hmm.
then when you're not in the same realm, it's like, what the hell is going on here?
Yes.
Like the
It,
energy conflict is occurring.
yeah, it is always a bit of a shock whenever you find out that it's not been the case and you've been under the wrong impression for a long time. But
Giving this
I,
credit.
yeah, but I just have to personally, because I spend so much time not giving the credit and realizing, not even realizing that I was not giving someone credit, not giving someone grace, even though I've always been one to give
Mm,
someone the benefit of the doubt. Um, like I just imagine like they if I imagine that they are mature enough to not think the worst of me, then I can think better of myself. And I can't really dwell on my previous fears that like, oh, I had this kind of effect and they hold this grudge against me. And I just have to be like, for one, if they did hold a grudge against me, that can't be my problem anymore. I was a kid. And for two, if I expect them to hold on to this for all these years, then I clearly have a high opinion of myself, and I need to not think that I was such a big deal that everyone who interacted with me remembers all the stuff that we say and do from when we were kids, because that's not realistic. Even if
It's
some,
not.
on the rare instance where someone does remember something that you said or did for many years, like you can't hold on to that because at the end of the day,
Yeah.
that's something they need to work through. So, and when I
Right.
think back,
It's a
it's like
benefit.
I didn't really do anything that bad. It just feels that way sometimes. Um, did I lose you? Hold up.
Hmm.
Did I lose you?
Yes. Okay, you're back.
Okay. Yeah.
You were saying, but you didn't really,
Oh, yeah. I don't think I even did anything that bad. Like
or
the,
bad. It doesn't even have to be that bad. What if you didn't do anything bad?
yeah,
That
I don't
exists
know.
for you yet? That you didn't do anything bad?
No, because I don't think
Hmm.
that anyone can think that. I mean,
Well, I mean, why does it have to be bad or good? Why is there this weird binary of like, well, you did a bad thing or a good thing? Because we literally create the value around good and bad.
mhm.
So I would argue that
There's
um,
probably a different word.
if it's a judgment of bad, then that's under someone's value system, either yours or someone else's. And the value
Mhm.
system is made up. So
Mhm.
taking away the bad of it just makes it an action that happened. It can just be that too,
Mhm.
right? Because
Yeah.
like holding that bad label is literally like just holding a ball and chain behind you. Like for grudges for me, I just literally see it. And I don't, grudges sometimes just mean I think about something a lot too. Maybe something that bothered me. I'm not mad at them. I
Yeah.
might be like still feeling disappointment or like curiosity or like betrayal. But like
Mhm.
those are heavy weights
Yeah.
that are dragging behind me. Even when I'm not thinking about it, I don't let it go. I still keep it in my body because I'm not settled on it.
Right.
So like I like to become aware of those ball and chain so I can just fucking drop them.
Mhm.
And if they try to reattach, I'm like, we're done with this. We're done with that. I know I've spent like with the Lisa era. I was like, I fucking spent 3 years thinking about you stupid idiot. Why am I doing that?
Mhm.
You know?
That's
And
true.
I just am like, I can put my brain towards something else.
Yeah.
Too
I
much.
guess it's a matter of reframing it to be more neutral. And that's a really good point.
Yeah. More
Neutrality
neutral.
about our
Right.
past, like
Yeah.
learn what we can from
Why
it.
judge us? Why are we still judging little us for a thing that we literally can't change? What,
For
we
me,
get a
it's
Scarlet
religious
letter for
trauma.
that?
I know why I do
Yeah.
it. It's because I've got religious trauma around shame, and I had shame even when I was a kid, and I barely did anything quote unquote wrong, but it felt like it's like having a 7-year-old go to confessional. Like you've got a 7-year-old here confessing to having peeked at his neighbor's test when they were filling something out, or secretly staying up a little later than they're allowed to. And then you've got some grown adult cheating on his wife and having a secret family, and he's in confessional, apologizing for it. And they're both supposed to be the same level of shame
Right.
and like say this many Hail Marys. Now, I didn't grow up Catholic. I grew up Baptist, so we don't even have the whole confessional thing. You just hold on to that. It's like they're like, they think they're better than Catholics because it's like, well, Catholics can go and do whatever they want and then just go to confessional the next Sunday. Whereas we don't. So we have to be better the first time around or I can't remember what their language was. I do know they thought
Ah,
less of Catholics, that's for sure.
yeah.
And so they hold themselves to a pretty high standard, especially fundamental Southern Baptists. I can't speak for every church, obviously.
Yeah.
But Southern fundamental Baptists, they go hard. And I spent so much time with internalized shame, and I still struggle with it. I think I have that in common with Catholics because Catholicism does also exist on shame. It's just a different flavor, the way that it's handled.
Right.
But for me, there was no release of going to a confessional. It's just like holding on to it. So I think that carries over, and I'm figuring this part out real time, by the way. It carries over to my regular life where I struggle with um just like guilt over things that I have to remind myself. for one, already happened. For another, wasn't even really that quote unquote bad or wrong. Um, it just was a thing that I did when I was dumb. Like
Mm-hmm.
I was in a
And
rough
ignorance
place and
really is
I
a real thing. Like you can't know what you don't know.
yeah, and like it's not like I ever cheated on anyone or hurt anyone or anything like that. I just was disappointed in myself that I did or said things that maybe I wouldn't do or say if I went back in time. And it's like, but at the same time, even though I had like it wound up giving me a lower opinion of myself because I'm no better than the people that I would judge, because I used to be very judgmental. I would claim to be open-minded, but then I would secretly like subconsciously judge because that's how I was grown, that's how I was raised.
Right. It's
And
installed in you when you're young.
hmm yeah. And it's both
Because there's
from the
no way that
church and the family.
there's no way that you were born and you're like, I decide this is
No,
how I want to think.
absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. And it's also from like a traditional Southern family. It like even if it wasn't church, like my mother and my grandmother and her grandmother, they all have the built-in like judging people and no, expecting to be judged and expecting to meet a certain amount because and you hear those things, you pick up on hearing them talk about other people, and you're like, I don't want that to be the case for me. And you internalize that. And then you start to hear yourself like judging other people in your mind because it's like, oh, well, I would never do that or say that or act like that because I know better and they don't know better. And then it's like judging people for not quote unquote knowing better. And then later on, goodness forbid, if I act like a human and I would previously have known better, then I have this internal thing like if younger me saw this, they'd be disappointed in me. And it's like there's so many things that younger me would be so disappointed by, but also younger me, I forget sometimes, was very depressed and scared of the world.
And
Like,
young you was in a cult that you didn't ask to be in,
yeah, like,
right? And you did your best, even though you were aware,
hmm
and then you did get out of it or stop it or whatever, and you became
hmm
this person.
yeah.
Did what you said.
We're
You
active
did
or
what
we're
you said.
aware enough to try to recognize, like, it's also about making peace with the parts of your past that you want to take claim over and like stuff that you would have been ashamed of before and accept it as part of, your background and your story while also not being like a prisoner to it. So
Yeah.
like for example, I've started trying to make peace with the fact that I come from a long line of chaos. So, like, my mother is the messy, write all over your hand, grab nearest mail, write it, just all the stuff. And my grandmother was a hoarder. She had boxes all the way up to the ceiling. We grew up with roaches and rats and stuff. And I recognize that I also want to hoard things. And I also am chaotic. But I also don't have to be. And I got this latter part from my sister because I was starting to make peace right before my dad died. I went down there for the funeral. I was starting to make peace with the fact that I was becoming my mother, more or less. And I didn't love that, but there was some amount of healing in not feeling bad about whenever I showcased some of her traits. And so it was my way of just being like, well, this is me now. I got it from her, but whatever. And then my sister heard me say something along the lines of, um, yeah, I got this from mom or whatever. I'm becoming mom or I'm doing mom or whatever. Something about chaos. Like I'm channeling mom right now.
Mm.
And she's like, but you don't have to. And I was like,
Yeah, you
what?
can, whatever you get from someone else, you can just take it off.
She's like, because I was getting stressed out, and my mother's a blood pressure person, a high blood pressure person. Like she always would do this, where she'll start shaking, she'll get really worked up about something, and obviously you can't tell that person to calm down. But she'd be like, hold on, take a breath, just give it a second. There's no rush, and you can get your stuff together, you can get your thoughts together in order. I'm not going anywhere. You don't have to be in this state of what your mother would be in. And I'm like, huh. huh, like that was like a light bulb moment. Like she knows my
You
mother more
became
than,
aware of this veil
yeah, I was
of an
like,
onion layer, you
I
know?
can both recognize the fact that I come from a chaotic, stressful background and that I have it in me, while also not expecting that it has to be me. Um, and
Mm-hmm.
I
It's
can
behavior,
try, yeah,
right?
like the tendency is there. I need to acknowledge the fact so that I
It's
don't shame
habitual,
myself.
right?
Right. It's
Humans
going to
are dumb. We just are
happen.
habitual. Yeah, we just
Right.
want to do what's easy,
Yeah.
and
So don't shame
discipline help.
myself for showing something
Yeah.
that reminds me of my mother, but also take a minute to be like, I have more of a choice here. I don't have to be like her. I have it in me that I can pick and choose what the best aspects are that I do want to emulate, like kindness and caring
Mhm.
and acceptance, and try not to hold on to the other things like grudge holding and excessive chaos and all this
I'm
other
doing
stuff.
this with
So,
my parents too. I've been doing this. So like this brings us to like the next step, which is compassion for them because
hmm
we've experienced their life and it's hell. And also we know how hard it is to get out of that hell and they have more experience in that hell than we do. So I
hmm
feel like that always brings me back to a spot of compassion of like, you know what, man, I am praying for you.
Yeah.
And I hope that, and I will be there to help you if you ever need it or ask for it. But in that hell, I can understand it's a rough life, and I want to give you whatever
Yeah.
energy will be helpful for that.
Yeah.
But this is also relevant to my meditation this morning. I was listening to an audio Dharma,
hmm
um, guided meditation by Gil Fronsdahl, my favorite.
Mm,
And it was about the word yes. So like in meditating, but like also in general, when you become aware of something, saying the word yes, like or like say you're meditating and thoughts come in and you notice, yes, I became aware of that. Um, I'm now aware of that. And then like the parents thing, like, yes, I'm aware. I'm when you became aware of like the reaction you were having
hmm
or your behavior, whatever, like, yes, I'm aware. It's like affirms the existence of a thing so that you can acknowledge it and move on and be ready for other things to say yes to. That was kind of the
hmm
basis of it. Is like, yes, we are acknowledging it. It's like things just come in our vision and like we just have to like catch it and be like, I see you. Okay, I see you now. Now I see you.
hmm
And then it becomes less chaotic because I've acknowledged and I have told each and every energy thing, yes, I see you. I
hmm
do acknowledge that you exist in this plane. Even if I can't see you, I can't talk to you, whatever it is, yes. And then that can help just clear, go on to the next test question. Yes. Do you know this? Yes.
Hmm.
And that can, I think for me already, since this morning, it's helped me just communicate with my brain on things I know. Because I am
Yeah.
also aware of this. I'll get in a thought process and then I'll end with, well, I don't know. Like I've got to the end of it.
Yeah.
And I want, that's a practice I'm trying to change because I don't want, like the phrase, I don't know. It's a very limiting phrase.
hmm
Um, I like to say something else, but also it's more about giving my brain a signal that I don't know something. That's not true. I literally think I know everything and I want to remain that way. And I want to keep my process of when new information comes in and it replaces the old information, I just switch it. I'm not going to stand in a value that doesn't make any sense to me or because
hmm
I'm very loyal to it. Um, but uh, I do like the idea of getting this communication system with my brain of being very simple, to move on from that, like said chaos. Yes,
Yeah.
I see
I
you.
love that.
And then if it's something I need to deal with later, it's gonna come back. I don't have to be like, oh, don't worry, I won't forget to think about this thing. You always come back. They always do. They're always gonna
Mm-hmm.
come back, right? Like we think we have bad memories, but no, we actually have really, really good memories and things that need to surface do surface. So like saying yes to them is like, yes, I see you. And like it makes me feel like I have capacity to look into something if I want to now that I've actually seen it with my eyes.
Mm.
visually how I think.
Yeah. For me, I have found the it will come back is uh not always the case for some things for me personally, because I did try that for a while and it wound up getting me in trouble because my particular ADHD does struggle a lot with that. So, but I have found that setting things like reminders or adding it to your calendar and stuff like that, and then letting it go. Like as soon as you think of it, instead of being like, oh, I need to make sure that I remember this, and then feeling bad when I inevitably oftentimes will forget it, then instead of doing that, I can, oh, this popped into my head. Let me put it on the parking lot, or let me pop it into my reminders or my calendar or something so that I don't have to hold on to the weight of, I need to remember this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
Um,
remember you have that.
yeah, I've been struggling, especially lately, with this whole Ritalin mix up. Like my doctors got me on a different dose, like a bunch of short terms instead of the extended release because those are easier to come by right now. Um, but it's not hitting the same. It is a struggle still. Um, I am getting some stuff done, which is helpful. But I'm getting some stuff done in the beginning of the day, and then the rest of the day, I'm just like,
I mean,
no.
that's honestly kind of normal because what's coming up for me is like your timeline, because you were in and out of different timelines and there's transition pain there,
Mm-hmm.
and then you add the Ritalin. That's not even with adding the Ritalin. Then you add the problems with the Ritalin. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a feeling bad for forgetting something. One, because I know I do have it, I do know in my heart that it comes back when it needs to. Like I just trust that it comes back. And if it doesn't ever come back, I don't need it. It's not something that I need in my front line. But also, it's a note to me that I do need more time.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I write the list down and then don't get to the thing, I have a priorities issue. I think everything is number one priority.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think that I can get them done. And then if I get them done, I'll be happy
Mm-hmm.
and I won't feel guilt of not doing the things anymore. But realistically, and I'm not medicated, and it is very normal to be able to get your stuff done in the beginning of the day, and then the rest of the day is literally just nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like that production of like how what's our expectation of how long we're going to produce each and every single day, you
I
know?
mean, yeah, for me, I need it to be like 6.5 hours at least of something, like between doing like my work tasks and when I'm not doing my work tasks because I finished them, then I'm supposed to be updating stuff. And I also am fortunate enough to have like time on the clock that I'm allowed to like learn. And I have development courses that I found myself, and they were like, yeah, by all means, do that. And for a while, I was really enjoying that. But I lately, especially with the medication and stuff, I've been struggling so hard to have the brain power to want to learn those things. And it's like I'm just kind of doing the bare minimum. And I'm sure
I
it's
mean,
not
can that
gonna,
be fine though? Like, can it be fine to do the bare minimum for a while every once in a while?
it's
Like,
gonna
what's
have to be.
like the opportunity here with the medication mix up is fucking taking a break,
Mm,
you know? It's fucking taking a break, dude.
yeah.
Like expecting yourself to perform tasks during this,
Mm-mm,
it's too much. It's really too much. You're just one little man with one brain and one heart.
mm-hmm,
It's too much. Like your body is busy doing a lot of things, and then to expect it to do all this other output that it can normally do when it's medicated,
mm-hmm,
and then the transition of the different like that, like this timeline that you're in right now, I think it's long, and I think that's okay.
mm-hmm.
I think it's okay to keep things simple because you're pretty disciplined. You've gotten really, really disciplined, you
Sometimes it
know?
feels less like when I think back to how I was like in high school. It'll feel like I'm less disciplined now than I was back then.
Well, you
And
might be, but
so
you were also a tiny baby child with more energy. You didn't have a 9 to 5 job
it's true.
or a husband or a house or 10 pets or a garden or autism. Like come on. You gotta give yourself a break. And why are you comparing yourself to little teenage Scarlett? She has no business in your timeline now. And if she does, it's because you're hanging out with her because she was cool. But your expectations can't come from her,
Mhm. That's a good
and
point.
maybe I'm projecting because I think that too. I'm like, remember I used to get up and do this thing and I was in every club. Now I'm like, I need one friend. I want one
Hmm.
place to go. I want one activity,
Hmm.
no new people coming in. It is like that. It is like that. And if people have a 9 to 5, that does change the availability to, you know, do other shit. So I think that because once your medication comes back, if that happens, you're going to be back into robot mode and productive, and that will be a thing that happens. So until
Hmm.
then, why don't we take the L and just relax, you know?
Take the L. The L
It's
stands for lazy.
okay. Yes, it is okay. And I've been putting myself through this too. I'm like, I
Hmm.
know it looks fine in here, but like I'm not doing everything weekly like I want to. But also, I'm like,
Hmm.
when is the last time I just lived in my house
Hmm.
and didn't like have a thing to do to get done?
Right.
I just took it all off the list. I just let shit be in the way and annoy me, and then eventually it annoyed me, but not in a way, not because I didn't do it, but because
Hmm.
it's just in the way. And that's fine too. Like getting annoyed at the thing instead of myself for not taking care of the thing.
That's how we started our cleaning binge yesterday was literally we when we vacuumed, we did DT earth and vacuuming in our bedroom. And because there was so much stuff like piled around from the last time we took a trip and didn't unpack everything, at some point it got all pushed like to this corner behind the door so that we could at least vacuum the rest of the room. And this morning or yesterday morning, one of our dogs piddled in the bedroom and over by the door. And so to open the door, to clean up that spot, we couldn't open the door all the way. And my partner just got pissed off and just threw all the stuff out on the floor. And then we were like, okay, um, I guess let's clean this stuff up now because it was so annoying that it was impeding our ability to open the door. And so now, and we did, we actually did it. And then we were like, well, we may as well keep going. So we did laundry and I did dishes, emptied the dishwasher, started loading it. I even made dinner last night. Dude, I made tortilla mash last night. It's actually tortilla soup, but it always comes out mushy. So I just call it mash. And last time I made it from a soup mix that my sister got me way back when my dad died and I went down there. She bought it from a local shop. And she's like, this is for when you go home because I know you hate cooking. So just throw this stuff in a pot, add some a can of chicken, and you're good to go.
Amazing.
Um, yeah, so I found a recipe that recreates that. And I also made one and took it to our new neighbors because I've been wanting to take something over to our new neighbors since they moved in, but I wasn't sure what to take them. And I finally had the idea. I'm like, well, I need to make this tortilla soup anyway. Maybe I just make the tortilla soup mix and then I'll take them the can of chicken and rotel with it.
Mm.
And I'm like, this will be a nice present because then it can be a meal for when, like, if they already have meal plans tonight, it's not like bringing them a casserole that they may or may not
Yeah.
like.
They can literally be like,
Um,
well, we have this and it takes 5 seconds.
right. So they don't have to use it right away. They can just use it whenever they do need a quick
That's
meal.
smart. It's really
Yeah,
smart.
I was really proud of it. And I made my own like label for it in Canva. And I was really proud of the way that it turned out. And I took it to them. It was kind of awkward because they were Slavic and they didn't have the same immediate Midwestern reaction that I was expecting when I brought it over there. And so the dynamics were off. Like I'm standing there just like going off and still going off. And she's just standing there looking at me like I'm from Mars. And as I'm holding this gift that I'm trying to give her, and part of it might have been a language barrier, but at that moment, I hadn't heard her speak at all yet, and I didn't know
It
she had
was
an
like, hi,
accent.
I'm Scarlett.
Pretty much, I just like the longer it went without her saying something, the more I kept going. And finally, I'm like, I'm so sorry, I'm rambling, I'm nervous. I don't normally do this.
You
I'm
do
normally
do
a
that.
homebody.
Yes, you do. You do do that.
No, I meant I don't normally do this as in go next door and give a gift.
Oh, I see.
I said no, I do ramble a lot, especially when I'm under medicated. But like
Well, like when you get the space, I love it
yeah,
when it happens because I'm like, here it goes. Let's let it out. What
yeah,
is it? What's in there? That's
lots,
nice.
lots are in
So she
there.
got to experience you.
She did, and luckily, her significant other, spouse, boyfriend, or brother, I don't know what, but was sitting behind her, and I kind of hope that they would invite me in because like
Yeah.
again, I keep expecting the Midwestern tendencies and I had played it out like all the worst case scenarios, but I still imagined there'd be like a base level. But she
Yeah.
didn't invite me in. She just stood there in the doorway and then she opened the doorway and the husband was back there and was like, "Thank you." And they both have pretty thick accents. And she said, I think she said, "I'm Natalia and this is my husband." I can't remember the name, but they were very like Russian sounding names. And
Mhm.
and then this tiny kitty popped out and I'm like, "Oh my goodness." And so we were able to kind of like bond, like they told me about the cat and how it was 2 months old, and how they rescued it. And I thought that was very sweet. And then eventually the husband's like, "Well, thank you so much for this. This is very kind." And that's how I took my hint and I'm like, "Okay, we're good. We're leaving now."
That's beautiful. That's perfect.
But yeah, and I forgot to give them my number, even though that was my main purpose of getting to know them, is because I want us to be able to communicate, but I don't want them to knock on the door. I have a sign that says, please don't knock or ring the doorbell, just text us. There's no need to involve the dogs and all that stuff, but I didn't give them my number. And my partner actually didn't want me to give my number right away. They're like, meet them first. What if they're hardcore MAGA bigots? And then we don't want to associate with them like on a regular basis.
Yeah.
But
You'll set the pace of how often it is cool to see them.
yeah, and they were like, and it's like Oklahoma. They had Oklahoma tags. So there was a fear that they'd be more conservative than us. And that might go a certain way because these days it's hard to be friends with someone that's on the opposite side of the political spectrum. It's way
Yeah.
harder now than it used to be.
Yeah.
But it seems like it'll be okay. We'll see how things go. And the other day someone pulled out of the driveway. I don't know who it was. There's someone else living there that I haven't met yet. It's like a maybe a son or something.
Hmm.
And whoever was in the car, I did the Midwestern thing where you raise your hand. You don't like wave or anything. You just like, yeah. And then they did, and you kind of tuck your head a little bit. And I saw a hand go up in there, and I'm like, okay, okay, we're good. Because as soon as I did it, I'm like, if it's them, they may or may not know that that's what we do here. Or they might just ignore me. But no, they returned the hand raise, and I was like, okay. Good. I feel way better now.
Yeah.
If we can just like keep doing that every time we see each other, just a simple wave, even if we don't say anything, we
Yeah.
can work our way towards other things. And then I
Yeah.
feel a lot better. I did not make a terrible first impression. It's fine.
No. Yeah, it sounds like you were a very normal neighbor who is precious and kind.
I hope it came off
Is
that
that what
way.
you're going for?
That's what I'm going for because I would love to have someone. Our previous next door neighbors were amazing. When my person broke their leg, they brought us groceries. Um, and because we just asked for, we were like, hey, do you happen to have any 80 milligram baby aspirin? Because we've already got the other medication, but we don't have that. Or do you have any laxative stuff because morphine is
Mhm.
terrible. And then she's like, morphine, what happened? And I told her, I'm like, well, my person is laid up in bedridden, because of this accident. And so she's like, oh my gosh, I'll bring some over to you. I'm at work, but when I come home, I'll bring some over to you and I'll swing by the store. And then she comes up and she has all these grocery bags of like ready-made food, salads, and like she wound up feeding us with that one trip for like at least a week. And I was able to take stuff over because really they were bedridden. Like I was in there regularly, just like every meal and helping getting to and from.
Mhm.
as needed. And so I don't know what I would have done if I didn't have that help. And so I really wanted to make sure that we had some kind of relationship with our new neighbors just in case, because you never know
Yeah.
when you'll need
Yeah.
that lifeline.
I love that.
Well,
Love to be your fucking neighbor, dude. Oh my God.
yeah, dude,
I guess it was like,
especially,
oh, wait a minute. What if I live next to Scarlett? That would be one, so cool. And two, yeah, you sound like a good neighbor.
yeah, well, this is a nice, like, little suburban neighborhood that I would have loved to have lived in as a kid.
Mm,
And I regularly have to remind myself, I'm like, I'm living the dream right now. This is a nice, like, relatively safe neighborhood, especially compared to like what I grew up in. And I don't have to sleep with one eye open the way that I'm used to.
mm,
And it's beautiful to walk around. There's kids that just, they ride their bikes around with no fear of being abducted or shot down. And I just need to, like, someone had a lemonade stand, um, and I need to appreciate it. Like, I need to go and appreciate the fact that I have a neighborhood worth getting to know people in.
have it.
Um, and
Have it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
just
I
wish
have moments
that
like that
we
too.
had
I'm like,
people that
no.
lived close to us that were our friends, but it's fine. Maybe I'll find someone. We were hoping when our house next door went open, it's like maybe it'll be a young couple of
Honestly,
stoners.
my local friends work, they're like baristas and bodega counter people, like people that I see really regularly have become my friends.
Mm, yeah.
Clients. I'm not out here like trying to, my situation is different. Plus I'm different anyway, but I'm not
Hmm.
trying to like spark up new, like everyday hang friendships.
Hmm.
But like the people that I want to see regularly usually are people who I'm buying services from.
Yeah. Which is fair. I'm stuck at home a lot. I'm kind of isolated and there's not really much that I can walk to from here. I used to have the regular outing with my friends, but ever since the baby was born, we haven't been doing that as much. She does have her first birthday coming up and I'm really excited.
Wow.
I'm gonna get to go. It feels like the baby shower was like a few weeks ago. And now it's already first birthday. But I'm excited to go see her. I think this might be, it'll be great to see her in person, and then my friends are going to be there, and that's going to be really cool. But I do, and of course, I work from home, so I don't see like people in the office like I used to. But I, I don't know. I'm also in a space where it's weird having a certain level of social, like because online normally would be where I get a lot of my social interactions, like Discord. Like my friends, even though we haven't been meeting, they're always on Discord. Um, but I don't keep up with that as much now as I used to. I'm
Hmm.
kind of ghosting a lot of in
Too.
online social stuff.
Me too.
So,
Being
and then I'm
online
like falling
feels
behind.
painful these days. I don't know.
It does. It does. And we do sometimes talk about serious stuff like goings on. We have a channel for that. And really the only thing is because I haven't been able to be on that channel, I also have kind of lost touch with what's happening. Like I had no idea one of my friends like got laid off and had to find a new job until they were like, hey, so if you're planning on going on this trip where you might be fishing, my company can is having this giveaway where you might be able to get fishing gear. And I'm like, fishing gear? What about what? You work for a company that like consolidates loans. What do you why would there be fishing gear? And then I realized like I had to go back quite a bit and find
Mm,
out how much I missed. And I'm like, oh geez, I had no idea any of that happened.
yeah.
It was a whole saga that I missed, but I don't know. They're pretty understanding. And sometimes, if you have friends like that, they will be understanding when you just need to check
Hmm.
in. Like one of them even reached out at one point and was like, hey, we haven't seen you in the Discord in a while. I understand if you need space, just wanted to check in on you and let you know that we're thinking of you.
Nice.
And I'm like, gosh, these guys are so good.
Beautiful. Yeah. You're a good neighbor.
I mean, I'm nowhere near them though. That's my thing. I
No,
wish,
like you know what I mean. You know what I mean. You're just a good neighbor. You're a good person to have around and people care about you.
yeah.
Your absence is missed when you're in it, you know?
Well,
speaking from experience. Yes. Your
I
bright little
appreciate you.
light is beautiful when it's around. We miss it when it's not.
And I appreciate your patience too. It's really nice having you. And by the way, circling back to you were talking about your meditation today.
Mhm.
I've been falling out of line with my meditations and my spirituality. I used to listen to Dharma talks from the Venerable Thich Nhat Hanh like every day, and I can't seem to bring myself to do that
I'm just
lately.
getting back into, and I went back to my two apps. I use the Balance app, which I've talked about. It's a meditation app. There's only two voices. It's very easy to use. It's not free though. I pay yearly for it. I don't
Mm-hmm.
haven't used it that much anymore, but like I did a lot of meditation practicing on that. And then
Mm-hmm.
there's an app called Audio Dharma, or it's on YouTube as Audio Dharma. And there's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people doing Dharma talks on that. I like this guy, Turned On by Lisa, um, called Gil Fronsdahl. He does a lot of talks. Just the way he speaks is nice, and I like his voice. And he's like 100 million years old somehow, and still
Mm-hmm.
doing these Dharma talks and like traveling around the world doing these talks. Anyway, so I've just gotten a little routine of I have a hammock out on the little porch now, so I'm
Oh.
going on the hammock and I'm just like turning on my phone and just like resting it here. I'm not doing headphones or anything. And I can
Mm-hmm.
choose, I can choose an hour one, I can choose 30 minutes. I just am trying to get in the reps. And like
Yeah.
I'm doing an okay job at doing it. So that's what I've been doing. I highly recommend the audio. You might find a couple speakers that you really like.
Yeah, dude,
Uh,
hold on. I'm gonna pull this up right now before I forget.
okay.
You said audio.
Dharma, you know how to spell Dharma.
Yeah. I appreciate you. Um, Insight Meditation
Yep,
Center. Okay. So that's their YouTube name is Insight Meditation Center.
yep.
Oh, and you said
Um,
Gil Fronsdahl. Yeah, there he is.
yeah, he does. He just did the last six talks. I usually, if he hasn't done a talk in a while, then I just look him up by speaker. But if you see each one has a little time, maybe I'll put it on here so that people can see it. There's a little timing, and then
Mm-hmm.
there is the date. And if you click on it, you can hit play talks in sequence, so it will just play one after
Oh.
another. I don't usually do that because for some reason in my mind I think it's going to be backwards and I don't like that. But plus I want to know how much time is going by sometimes. But it's great.
Mm-hmm.
The little Darmets that he does.
Darmets. That's adorable.
I know, it's cute.
And it also reminds me of how Thich Nhat Hanh, his main temple that he was based out of, was in France. Um,
Hmm.
I mean, he was Vietnamese, but like his headquarters wound up being in France. So I love that. Um, that's really
So get into
interesting.
this. Yeah, and like he does a couple different, so if it's a talk, he's obviously talking, but he does invite in some meditative breath work. Um,
Hmm.
and like sometimes he will do a talk and go into meditation and don't even realize that he's like doing that.
Hmm.
Um, and it's just really easy. And then sometimes at the end of some of the talks, they have like a Q&A where people ask him questions and then you could just get a little more insight from
Hmm.
his talk.
I
It's good.
love
It's good.
this. This might be just the kind of thing that I need right
Hmm.
now. Even if I don't like do it every day, just like having it,
Yep.
I think as an option to help me out might be the thing I need to get me back into it.
When do you
Audio
think you would do
Dharma,
it?
I
Like in
think
the morning or at night?
I want to start doing it in the morning, but I might do it in the afternoon. Um, because I found myself wanting to go outside in the afternoon and not really have anything to do out there. Like I'll use the mail as an excuse, but when I go out to get the mail, I just kind of want to stay out there. And so I'll usually go under Slim Shady the shade tree and I'll just squat and I'll just look at our sinkhole or I'll look at the ground or I'll look out.
Maybe you can get a
Um,
little blanket and bring it out and make it a little thing.
I thought about like bringing a chair out under Slim and eating like my PB&J or something
Or
and
like a
just
couch
having lunch
cushion or
out
something,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So maybe I'll do that and have outside time while listening to the Dharma and um then I can combine two things that have been helpful.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, um
And then
yeah.
you'll get a sense of like what kind of meditations and talks are available. Like, and so for me, if it's a straight up meditation, I'm like, all right,
Hmm.
this is 25 minutes, then I can set myself up. But if I choose a talk, I'm like, well, I can do this as a walking meditation, or I can do something like listen while I'm eating or listen while I'm cleaning or something like that, you know?
And I see here, I just downloaded the app. You can favorite talks, you can notate
Mhm.
talks. Dude, this is amazing. The
It's
only thing
cool,
that could
right?
make this better is if it did have some talks from Thich Nhat Hanh, but I understand they're doing their in-house stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's all real time. So like it's not like they're doing this to create content. They just
right.
at the IMS at this at IMC the center, they're doing these talks.
Yeah,
And
I
I
see
know
they're
that's
streaming every day.
yeah, lots. Yeah.
That is so crazy.
Lisa turned me on to this. This
Thank you,
video is
Lisa.
magical, I know.
Wow. Okay. Well, this is
Specifically Gil too. And I've tried to listen to other people and I'm just not into them.
Sometimes that's the biggest thing is you got
Yeah.
to find the one that works for you because you're
Hmm.
not going to be able to take seriously the word of someone that you're just grinding your teeth to listen to. So you just
Yeah.
got to find the one that clicks. There have been audiobooks
Sometimes
for me that have been ruined by the
the
narrator.
voice. Sometimes his nose has a little whistle. There's just like funny, really human things, you know?
Nice. I love that. All right. Well, that is super duper helpful. If we
Nice.
take nothing else out of this meeting,
Yeah.
that will probably be the thing that I take out. Also, if at some point I just go black, it's probably because the power went out
Mm,
because we have tornado warnings in the area. So
okay. Well, if that happens, I'll just wrap up and text you.
cool. All right. Well, hopefully that doesn't happen because for one, I don't want to deal with the power outage, but
Yeah.
that's inconvenient. Um, but anyway, so now that we have spent an hour and a half, I think,
Hmm.
just about, let's start our planning process. I already know I'm going to be incorporating some of what we just went over into this week's plan. Um, but we are a neurodivergent focused planning meeting. We meet usually almost every Sunday. We just changed it to go back to Sunday mornings. Um, and at theoretically 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern. Is that right?
Hmm.
Hmm. And we have bye weeks usually like once or twice a month, twice usually if it's a 5 week month is usually when we'll do twice. And then we basically will meet and we will gather our thoughts. And I am winging this because my thing is not loading up, in case you're
Doing
wondering
great.
why I'm stammering so much.
I would not
Um,
be able to tell.
basically, we do this in four parts. We start with a brain dump where we take everything that's taking up space in our brain and just put it out onto paper or onto a digital notebook or whatever, and make space in our head for more structure later. Then we do reflective questions about the previous week. For us, I think previous 2 weeks, if we want. And top 20, we go to a top 20 where we pull out up to 20 things that we want to prioritize, which for me, I know is needs to be a shorter list, as we talked about. Sometimes you need to incorporate what's going on in your life or in your brain or around you so that you can prioritize accordingly. Um, and then we add things to our calendar after that, and we will wrap up.
Great.
So, if we make it there and my power doesn't go out. Um, okay, so we will start with the brain dump. Oh, there is a pop-up on my screen that I can't get to go away. So let's see if that shows if there's a block on my screen or if it just shows anyway. Let's see, share screen. You hear that thunder in the background?
No.
Oh, that's good. Hopefully you won't hear it. Hopefully it
Yeah,
won't get too loud.
situation going on over there.
Yeah. Yep, yep, yep. It's pretty cozy, honestly. Yeah. And there's this, of course, there's this whole cliche about Midwestern people not being afraid of tornadoes. So like when there's a tornado, you get your lawn chair and you go on the porch and watch it.
We could
I'm
do
not
that
about
too. Upstate New York is very similar to where you live, I
It
swear.
sounds like it. Because like most of my experience, I think, with New Yorkers is like people from Long Island and that area. And almost all of
Different.
them I know are terrified of tornadoes. And Florida too, they literally have hurricanes and they're afraid of tornadoes. I'm
Yeah.
like, come on, dude.
I mean,
Come
we've had
on.
tornadoes upstate too.
Yeah, you guys get tornadoes and hurricanes sometimes in New York.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Like that's, but yeah, my sister-in-law, she's a big fan of Wizard of Oz. And so when she married my brother and they moved down here, she was like, "You must pay to build an in-ground storm shelter. That is a must." And he's like, "We just can go to the bathroom with no windows. Like it's fine."
Mhm.
And she's like, "No, in-ground storm shelter, or I'm not moving down here."
Wow.
And she's like, okay. So they have an in-ground storm shelter in the middle of the suburbs of their place in
Okay.
Arkansas. But anyway, so I opened up the wrong thing here. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Is it showing the full time without the
It-
block?
yes. So
Perfect.
current task, 20 minutes. Yeah, yeah.
Cool, cool, cool. Okay. All right. Well, let's not waste any more
Can't you hit
time.
Alt F4 to get rid
Alt
of that? Put your focus on that screen by doing Alt Tab and then hit Alt
No,
F4.
because it's a system pop-up that I can't dismiss without closing programs because there's updates it wants to do. And so the only
Can you
option,
escape out of it?
mm-mm,
Hmm.
no, because it's basically taped to my thing because it's one of those things where you can postpone it for so long. And then after you postponed it too many times, it says, all right, I've given you chance after chance.
Yeah.
We're doing this. So, it says that it will automatically update or automatically close when the timer expires to complete the update. And so I got 57 minutes. Let's see what we can do here.
All right, let's do
Um,
it.
all right, so we'll start with our brain dump. We got 20 minutes, no right or wrong way to do it, and we'll come back to do our reflective questions after.
Thank you.
Hmm All right. So I stopped my video because the quality like turned itself down to 140p.
Mm,
And I took that as a sign that I'm pushing it with the things, whatever the quality internet is right now.
yeah.
So I turned
Okay.
my video off for now while I'm sharing my screen. How do we do?
Pretty good. I had to go to the bathroom, so I like only was doing half basically.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just really excited for my trip, I think, because there's like things in my brain that I need to organize that I
Mm-hmm.
feel like I have organized, and I'm excited to just be in a different place so that I can
Mm,
draw it out. And then just being in a different environment so that I can see this in my current environment for like what it is and what needs to change and how I'm going to change it. And I'm just really looking forward to that process.
yeah, dude. I'm excited for your sabbatical. It's long overdue, honestly.
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah, I'm gonna be so poor.
Yeah, but I mean, it's right up your alley though to take the time that's needed for you and figure
Yeah.
the money thing out later. That's
And I
very
haven't been
you.
doing it. I haven't been leaving, and it's affecting me. So,
Mm-hmm.
I've been talking a lot about bringing back making sure that I'm able to leave here once a month. Doesn't have to
Mm,
be for a fucking week, but it has to be
yeah,
for
just
sure.
like get out of there for a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, the energy can just be overtaking and it can consume, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
luckily the next one, so the morale around New York City has been really, really positive.
Yes, I heard
It's
about that.
crazy how different it feels here. And then the mayor gave us a fucking parade for it.
Hmm. Yeah, I
Like
literally saw
literally.
clips of that. It made its way to me, even though I don't watch basketball. That's how big
Mhm.
this is. It's reaching out of New York and out of the basketball sphere.
Yeah.
Like, I'm happy for you guys, even though I have no skin in the game whatsoever.
And same.
Um,
I don't care about the Knicks, but I
yeah,
do care about the health and well-being of my community, and they really
yes,
needed this.
they needed this.
They needed it.
Absolutely.
The
I'm,
cheering was unreal. I was like, me and Laura were like basically sleeping, but once I heard the cheering in the streets, I just committed to being up. And it
mm-hmm.
it wasn't like an energy of like, oh no, like there's crowds going on in the streets. The energy was just so happy. I've
Oh,
never felt this collective feeling of joy in Brooklyn before. Not like,
oh. That is so good to hear because,
yeah.
like, we can only see so much from here. I didn't even think to ask because I figured you wouldn't be like in the middle of it. And I didn't even register the fact that it could be spreading so much that even you guys are able to like feel it in the air. I love
We
that.
feel
I can't,
everything that happens here. And like
yeah.
imagine what it was like for COVID. Everyone's been a miserable piece of shit since
Mm,
then. And we were miserable before that, but we were doing a good job at faking it, you know?
yeah, we were New York miserable.
Yeah. And like, I know that people really can't understand what it's like. And like, you can really be in your little cubicle apartment and not go outside, but still feel the energy,
Hmm.
because like people don't have porches. We have big buildings that have windows. So like, we're all in there
Right.
feeling the same energy and it's growing and growing and growing. So this whole Knicks thing really just like
Hmm.
scrapped it, removed it.
Yes.
Removed it in a huge scale. Like every single borough has changed and the
Yeah, I
energy
mean
is
it's
different.
representative. It's hope. It's something to hold on to. It's a sign that things can change because they were long overdue.
Yeah.
Um, Something that was pretty much accepted across the board, from what I understand, was that the Knicks suck, and it's like that's just a fact of life, and we gotta be okay with it. And the fact that that changed means, oh, we don't have to be okay with it. We don't have to be okay with a lot of stuff, and it's not hopeless.
Yeah.
I think that's where it's coming from is a sense of hopelessness
Mhm.
about the world and the way things are that just one simple thing that they had already accepted as not worth hoping for has proven to be possible, and that makes anything seem possible.
And having a supportive mayor is so crazy. It's like
Yes.
before this, I was not being before the next meeting, like before Mamdani, I
Hmm.
didn't realize that politicians could actually make a community feel better or like cared for. We had
Hmm.
not had that. Like it is insane. The simplicity of everything that like because we're out here on the streets, like, can't you just do this? And politicians are like, well, it's not that simple. Blah, blah. No, it's not that simple because lobbying. It
Hmm.
actually is that simple if you care about the people that you're the mayor of, you know?
Right.
It's just so stupid.
Yeah.
So
It's
things are
a it's
changing
a
around
matter
here.
of like balancing it and having the right priorities while playing the stupid politics game as you need to, but still finding a way to stay connected to your people. And I love the fact that he's doing that for you guys.
Yeah.
Love it. I'm jealous, honestly,
We're
because
getting wins
our
over here. It's happening.
maybe it'll spread. Maybe it's contagious.
Yeah, I
We'll
bet it
see.
will. The energy here is that huge. It does affect more than just us,
Hmm.
you know,
Yeah. I'm hoping that because people are talking about it on the other side of the country. So I hope
in the
that,
world.
yeah, I hope the energy, like, I hope the energy spreads even for people that like don't have any interest in basketball whatsoever in any way, shape, or form. I hope that the energy
Like
of
me
like
and you.
something hopeless happen. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like I don't even like women's basketball. I don't watch any basketball. Basketball and
Although
hoop
I do
don't.
watch women's basketball now. This is new. I think
Yeah,
because I have a lot of experience going to live. I like live games. And I've only
yeah.
been watching it on the TV because Laura likes to, and I actually, for some reason, I'm not hating it.
Hmm.
So yeah,
That's how it starts.
they're
That's how
king.
it
That is how it
starts.
starts. Yeah.
All right. So let's move on to our next section. We're going to do reflective questions. So we're going to think about our last week, and if we want to, we can do the week before that since we didn't meet last weekend. But if not, then last week is fine. But we just want to ask ourselves some questions like, how was the week? How did I perform in my various roles as an adult? Did I achieve the goals I set for myself? What could I have done differently? Is there anything I need to follow up on? The purpose of this is not to shame ourselves, but it is to practice the memory exercise of thinking back on how the previous week went. Sometimes stuff can slip your mind until you make a point of thinking about it. And then we can follow up on things, but also sometimes we remember the week went better than we thought. If we try to remember those details. So it doesn't have to be broken up in question answer. It can be one blurb that blends together, whatever's easier. We'll take 10 minutes for that, and then we'll come back for our top 20.
Okay, thanks.
Mhm. All right, that's time. So I have 19 minutes left before my stuff refreshes, restarts.
Okay.
Um, we have two sections left, the top 20, which takes 15 minutes, and the add to calendar step, which takes 10 minutes. So I might need to drop off after the top 20.
Well, why don't we just spend the next 15 minutes doing top 20 and calendar stuff and just be wrapped up then?
Okay, yeah.
So at the end of
So
this, we'll just close up. We'll call it, I don't know, something else.
that sounds fine. So basically, we'll just pull out up to 20 things from our brain dump and reflective questions that we want to focus on this week. Doesn't have to be 20 things, just want to practice prioritizing and consider other factors that might make the list need to be smaller or longer. And then add things to your calendar like weather, domestics, non-committals, things that we might normally forget or neglect. So 15 minutes to do both of those today, and then we'll wrap up.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Cool. Well, that's time. How do we feel about the week?
Good. I'm traveling on Wednesday, so the week is gonna be different, but easy. Laura's off Monday and Tuesday, and then
Oh,
she's
nice.
train on Wednesday. And Julia's birthday's on Tuesday, so we're just on vacation. We've been on vacation the last couple days. Laura's had off, and I've had the fuckets, so
That's nice. I'm glad that you have a chance to enjoy the fuckets.
thank you. What about you?
Um, I've got some stuff planned that feels doable. Um, that if it doesn't all get done, it'll be okay, but um I'm kind of excited to try. So, I'm excited to see how much we get done and keep the pressure off that it's not necessary to do all this stuff, but it'll be cool if I can.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, it'll be cool if I can. It'll be
yeah,
cool if I can.
yeah. So we're gonna see how this goes. And I'm really
Hello? Hello? Lost you.
really excited. Lord, did I crash?
Yeah, there you're
Can
back.
you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, just in time. I've got 2 minutes, 50 seconds, so I'm gonna go ahead and duck off. But thank you so much for taking the time to just talk for a million years,
Same,
um,
same. Thank you.
and do this,
Great.
and and we will see each other again next week.
Okay.